Hello, this is Marian Davenport with the League of Women Voters of Portland, and you are watching the Video Voters Guide or listening to our podcast. We're here today to talk with candidates running in the November 5, 2024 general election. We are grateful for the support of the Carol and Velma Sailing Foundation, the League of Women Voters of Portland Education Fund, the Weiss Foundation, and our media partner, Metro East Community Media. With me is Nat West, who is running for City of Portland Councilor District 2, which includes most of North and Northeast Portland. Welcome, Mr. West.
Thank you for having me. It's fun to be here.
Please tell us a little bit about yourself and why you're running for this office.
Thank you. I moved to Portland in 2002 with my wife. We've lived in this house in the Woodlawn neighborhood since 2005. And in 2011, I started a little hard cider business in my basement, which expanded into my garage. And then over the course of 12 years, grew to be the largest hard cider manufacturing company in Portland. We were sold in 13 states and overseas. And at our peak, we had about 30 employees. Over the course of that 12-year period, Reverend Nats became known for supporting our community through donations. We donated over $280,000 worth of cider and cash to local grassroots organizations. That business ended in almost exactly a year ago in September of 2023. And during the interim, I was a TriMet bus driver for about 8 months. And now I'm running for city council.
What are your ideas for working productively with other members of council from your district?
I love that this is your first question because this is really why I'm running. The Portland beer community is really, really strong. And as a result, the beer of Portland is known to be an incredible beer city. We have international travelers coming here. And one thing that's really fueled our growth is that we have been so supportive of each other. I'm completely a fan of that. A rising tide should float all boats. And I've taken that love of collaboration and that importance of helping other beer producers into this race. So I've been called the collaborator by the media. At my kickoff party, I had other people, competitors in District 2, give their stump speech to my customers. I've done a ton of work inviting people to group events. Well, the whole goal with all this was I knew that even if I didn't win, the work that I did to create a stronger council would be useful for all of Portland, whether or not I'm there.
What, if any, actions would you consider taking to address the current concerns related to the critical energy infrastructure hub on the Willamette River?
Yeah, I think it's really important that we establish early, and we say it often, that Zenith Energy, the largest user of the critical energy infrastructure hub in Northwest Portland, has a history of lying. They say things to city council and to state regulators to let them expand, and then they go against what they've said. So if we bring that proven history into negotiations with them, it becomes obvious that we need to prevent their expansion. I'm a fan of tanking the tanks, adding extra support and reinforcement to the existing tanks. There's a lot of work that we can do to deny future land use permits, such as adding more trains and more train stations in the hub, or looking at moving the hub ultimately out of the Portland metro area into a less residentially dense area.
You are listening to the Video Voters Guide interview and podcast with Nat West, who is running for City of Portland Councilor District 2. Are you satisfied with the performance of the Joint Office of Homeless Services? And if not, what changes would you support?
I don't think anyone's satisfied with the response that we as a community have had to homelessness. The big problem that the Joint Office has is that they don't have funding dollars tied to specific metrics. When I get a newsletter from the Joint Office of Homeless Services, it's usually they're excited about their new intergovernmental agreement and not about moving people off the street. So as a bus driver, I had a lot of experience with people experiencing homelessness. And I think we need shelter of all kinds, temporary sites, designated campsites, as well as transitional housing and permanently affordable housing.
What skills, experiences, and interests distinguish you from other candidates for this position?
We've never had a public transit operator on city council. I hope that I'll be the first. I talked about how highly collaborative I am. I can't help helping other counselors. But I think one thing that I'm really bringing that's especially unusual is an incredibly strong small business background. And I think of small business not just from economic perspective only, but also from sort of the cultural magnet. Why do people move to Portland? Why do they want to stay in Portland? And oftentimes that's because of the incredible small business community we have here.
Which, if any, of the strategies described in the draft 2024 Portland Housing Production Strategy would you support?
Yeah, I'm proud to be endorsed by Portland Neighbors Welcome and the Home Pack. Both groups are really supportive of building more housing in Portland. So am I. I experienced 3-year delay on a building permit at my cider manufacturing company as I was negotiating a disagreement between Portland Water Bureau and the Bureau of Environmental Services. So that the new combined permitting bureau will get a lot of my attention and oversight. And that's really the thing that I'm most excited about working on.
Thank you, Mr. West. This concludes our video voters guide and podcast interview with Nat West, who's running for City of Portland Councilor for District 2. Election Day is Tuesday, November 5th. To find additional election resources, please visit the League of Women Voters of Portland website, lwvpdx.org, and then exercise your right to vote. Your voice matters. Thank you.
Thank you.